I'm Reed, just a normal, 27-year-old guy talking about building wealth and getting your life together in your 20s. All right, let's get real for a minute, you guys. If you are anything like me, growing up in America, you have heard this tired old story probably 100 times over, right? Go to college, get a steady job, buy a house, grind for 40 years, then maybe, just maybe, retire at 65 with $1 million in your $401,000 KO. And do not forget the white picket fence, the 2-story house, the perfect family, the whole 9 yards. That is the American dream, they said. That is what we all live for, what we all strive for, right, wrong. Dude, let's be brutally honest. That dream, that entire narrative, it is completely broken now. At least it is for me, and for pretty much every single one of us in our 20s, trying to navigate this absolute financial dumpster fire of insane home prices, soul-crushing student debt, job instability that feels like a constant threat, and an economy that just seems hell-bent on working against us. It is like trying to play chess when the other player keeps changing the rules every single move. So today, I want to peel back the layers and really break down why that traditional American dream is not just a little cracked, but fundamentally shattered. What the hell has changed? And most importantly, what I am personally doing instead to carve out a life that is truly mine, a life filled with freedom, flexibility, and genuine long-term wealth. And yeah, it looks totally different from the dusty old blueprint our parents or grandparents clung to. Think about it, the version of the American dream that people bought into back in the 1950s and 1960s. That one actually worked. And why did it work, you ask? Well, it worked for a few simple, almost laughably simple, reasons that just do not exist anymore. 1. A single income could buy a house and comfortably support an entire family. Seriously, one person working, and you could pay off a house and feed everyone. Tree that today, you would be living in a cardboard box. Dude, education was unbelievably affordable. Job security was at its absolute peak, and home ownership, that was the main, virtually guaranteed vehicle for building wealth. That is where you stashed your money. That was the best asset, the ultimate investment. It was a no-brainer. But now fast forward to 2025, and pretty much every single one of those pillars has either crumbled or is actively on fire. Wages, my friends, have not even remotely kept pace with inflation. The average house, and I am not talking about some McMansion, I am talking about a pretty meh, possibly even slightly crappy house, is now well over $400,000. Rent, forget about it. It is absolutely skyrocketing, eating up half your paycheck before you even blink. And job loyalty, that quaint little concept, it does not protect you from mass layoffs or from a robot learning your job in a fraction of the time. So trying to play by those old, outdated rules in this entirely new, brutal economy, that is a surefire way to set yourself up for failure, for stress, for an early midlife crisis. Trust me. Here is another huge, uncomfortable truth bomb. College is no longer the golden ticket it once was. And before you jump down my throat, I am not anti-education, far from it. But the idea that any degree automatically equals success and a fat paycheck is completely, utterly, undeniably outdated. People are graduating today with $60,000 to over $150,000 in student debt, a financial albatross around their neck before they even start. And then what? They are lucky if they land an entry-level job paying $40,000 to $50,000 a year. Meanwhile, someone who spent time learning to code or design from YouTube, or went to a trade school, or a boot camp, or even someone leveraging something like ChatGPT to build an online skill like SEO, or using it to supercharge their investing game. Those people often make more money. They make it faster, and guess what? They have significantly less debt. It is a stark, almost infuriating contrast. Take my own situation. For example, I went to school. I got my computer science degree, the safe path, right? And then for the longest time, I could not find a damn job. Seriously, crickets, I eventually had to pivot, switch my focus to data analytics, and yeah, I finally landed a job, but I am making $19 an hour, to be fully transparent with you guys. My tax return last year showed $32,000. Now, I am in a somewhat lucky position because I worked full time through college and managed to pay off my loans as I went, so I do not have student debt hanging over my head like a dark cloud. But let me tell you, that is not what I was promised. I was promised that if I went to school, got my degree, I would be raking in $150,000 by now. It is not about quitting school entirely. I am not saying that at all. It is about understanding the actual return on investment, the cold hard math. Is it really worth accumulating $60,000 to $150,000 in student debt if it is going to take you 10 years just to break even in your chosen field? The old American dream completely failed to account for the astronomical cost of college today. or how pathetically little some degrees would actually pay you back. Next up on the broken promises list, buying a house is not the same anymore either. Homeownership, remember, was one of the sacred core tenets of the traditional American dream. We were all brainwashed into believing that buying a home was the ultimate milestone of success, that you were not truly an adult, not truly successful, until you had your own piece of land. But in 2025, that entire notion has become borderline unrealistic, a pipe dream for the vast majority of us. Median home prices, depending on where you are living, are hovering around $430,000. Let's just do some quick painful math, shall we? A 20% down payment on that. That is $86,000. $86,000. I do not know anyone in their 20s or early 30s who has $86,000 just sitting around for a down payment, do you? On top of that, we are facing 6 to 7% interest rates. Plus, your maintenance fees are constantly climbing. Plus, property taxes are going up. Plus, homeowners insurance is through the roof. It all adds up incredibly fast, and it is a financial black hole. And here is the kicker. Buying a house does not always, and I repeat, does not always make financial sense. Let's imagine you are paying $2,800 a month on a mortgage. Now compare that to renting for, say, $1,600 a month. What if you took that $1,200 difference every single month and consistently invested it into something solid like VUU or SCHD? Over 10 years, assuming a modest 8% annual return, you would have nearly $225,000. Think about that, $225,000. And here is another inconvenient truth. No one, and I mean no one, knows what the future of home prices truly looks like. We can assume they will generally go up over the very long term, but we cannot account for market crashes, recessions, or unforeseen economic shifts. Owning is not always better. In fact, renting and intelligently investing that difference can often make you significantly wealthier, and crucially, it gives you so much more mobility and freedom. But that, my friends, goes directly against the traditional American dream, and that is exactly why I am doing it. Also, compared to that traditional American dream fantasy, the 9-to-5 job is no longer the impenetrable safety net it once was. We used to believe we were safe, secure, even cherished in our corporate jobs. Now, mass layoffs arrive via cold, impersonal emails. Technology and artificial intelligence are not just coming for jobs, they are actively replacing them day by day, sector by sector. And remote work, that brief, beautiful utopia, is consistently being rolled back, forcing everyone back into the office, back into the commute, back into the old ways. Now, I am not anti-corporate, let me be clear. I work a corporate job, and I genuinely like the company I am with. But the fundamental difference is this. I do not treat my job as my only plan, my sole path to success in life. That is a rookie mistake, a 100% guaranteed way to get screwed over eventually. The new American dream, the real dream for our generation, it is not about finding one job forever. It is about intelligently stacking your money, slowly but surely, with the goal of retiring early, of achieving financial independence. It is about building multiple side income streams, creating side hustles that empower you. It is about investing early, investing often, and making your money work harder than you do. It is about constantly learning, adapting, and taking advantage of every single new technology and opportunity that comes your way. So our security now, it comes from our adaptability, our resilience, our hustle, not from blind loyalty to some corporation that would drop you in a heartbeat if the numbers did not look good. The old dream, that traditional American dream, it traded time for a perceived sense of stability. It was all about stability. How stable, how predictable, how safe could you make your life? You could have a family, you could support them, you could pay for a house. It was a stability game, but that stability, my friends, came at an incredibly steep cost. It came at the cost of your freedom. It came at the cost of your precious time. It came at the cost of your ability to truly choose what you wanted to do with your life. People spent 40 years grinding, literally grinding themselves into dust, just to enjoy a few good years at the very end of their lives if they even made it that far in good health. But with our generation, that is a hard pass. We do not want to retire at 65. We do not want to be millionaires at 65. What if you never even get there? What if you do not want to wait that long? This is exactly why so many of us in our 20s and 30s are actively, enthusiastically rejecting the idea of waiting to live our lives. We want freedom now. We want flexibility now. We want autonomy now. Not just some far-off retirement, but multiple mini-retirements woven into our day-to-day lives. We want to engage in creative work, make smart financial moves that literally buy back our time, our most valuable asset. So, in my humble opinion, what is the new dream? What does the real modern American dream look like? Well, here is how I am personally rewriting my own damn American dream. And maybe, just maybe, it will resonate with you, another 27-year-old trying to figure this crazy life out. First, I am renting and investing. Instead of stressing myself sick about trying to buy an overpriced house right now, I plan to rent significantly below my means. Then, I am aggressively investing that difference into rock, solid ETFs like VUU, and yes, even some Bitcoin. My long-term outlook over the next 10 to 20 years is that by the time I am 35 or 45, this strategy will pay off massively. It is a simple mathematical equation, not an emotional one. Second, I am building skills over collecting more student debt. I have my bachelor's degree, and honestly, I see zero reason to go back to traditional school. With the sheer power of the internet today, I genuinely believe I can learn any skill I set my mind to. Whether that is new skills from free YouTube tutorials, devouring books like they are going out of style, or investing in online courses that actually teach me something practical, I am investing in my mind, not in another piece of paper and another mountain of debt. I have been deep diving into side hustles, exploring SEO, looking into countless ways to learn valuable new skills, and then figure out how to sell them, how to monetize them. Next, and this ties back into the first point, I am investing early and often. I already told you I do not make six figures. I am making $19 an hour, but I am consistently investing $50, $100, sometimes more, every single week, every week without fail. My money goes to work for me. That consistency, that relentless discipline, that is what will compound over time into serious wealth. It is not about hitting some lottery jackpot. It is about showing up consistently. Then, I am owning my time. Yes, I work a corporate job, but I also run this channel. And I know it is not some massive viral sensation, but I pour a ton of thought and time and effort into it. My goal is to be someone who is creating more, building more, contributing more, rather than just passively consuming. I want to create, I want to build things that matter. And through that, I am slowly, deliberately creating a life that is not solely dependent on one single income stream. That, my friends, is the ultimate goal. Multiple income streams supporting a life of genuine freedom and choice. Finally, and perhaps most importantly, I am investing in my health, my mindset, and my relationships. Wealth, real wealth, means absolutely nothing if you are mentally, physically, and emotionally drained. I invest in my physical health by running, by working out, by eating well. I am actively starting to read more, to take more time for myself, to prioritize rest, because this modern world is just overflowing with anxiety, stress, and mental health challenges.